Yo, what's going on, guys? My name is Big Pum, and we're here today to talk about my top 10 tips for surviving college, guys. Now, I know college is an exciting time of your life, but is also pretty overwhelming. So, here are some tips to help get you through your starting semester, or whether you're freaking your freshman year or your senior year. I think these tips are pretty universal, and I think these will help you out. So, let's go ahead and get into a game, and I'll start going into it, man. All right, so we just found our first game. Now, my first tip, probably one of the most important, I would definitely say, is go to class. Now, I know, especially if it's like your first year, you get scheduled for a lot of the 8 a.m.s, right? You think the 8 a.m.s are a great idea. I know it might be tempting some days. You'll get up and you'll be like, oh, I think I'm just going to skip today. Don't. Never skip class, even if it's an 8 a.m. I assure you, it's not worth it. That extra hour of sleep that you get from skipping class is not worth it. Especially don't skip class, because also your professors know those people that show up all the time, and if they like never see your face, they'll never know you. So when you ask them for that, when you need that extension, they won't give it to you because they don't even know who you are. But if you always show up, you always make it a priority to show up to their class on time, always being there, not being a distraction, all that good stuff. Being a good student, they're likely to give you a break. They'll be like, all right, they understand. They're not monsters. Now, this doesn't go for all professors. Some professors are just kind of rude. But most professors will be willing to work with you as long as you kind of work with them. You show that it's important to you, and they'll help you out. They really will. Also, going to class is really good for exams, because a lot of professors, when they're going over a lecture, will say, you know what, this is really important for your exam. Make sure you know it. So that's a huge reason to go to class. Sometimes they'll even give you some of the questions that will be on the exam. They'll be like, oh, blah, 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 blah. Make sure you know this. It will be on the exam. And that's huge. That's a huge benefit to going to class. And also read your syllabus, because you never know. Pop quizzes might be a thing. I assure you, pop quizzes are not just something in TV. They actually happen. So make sure you go to class, because you don't want to miss an easy, usually the pop quizzes are so easy too. They're literally there just to make sure you're showing up to class. So take those free points. 9 times out of 10, it's their free points. So make sure you go. That is a huge, I cannot stress enough. Go to class. Don't skip. Don't do it. Now, I can share a little story with you. There was one time that I was thinking about skipping class. It was a nice day. The winter was over. I wanted to go golfing. I was going to skip my financial accounting class to go golfing. And you know what? The day I was going to skip, there was an exam. There was actually an exam that I didn't know about, because I wasn't prepared enough. I wasn't ready for an exam, but at least I showed up. And if I had missed that exam, I probably would have failed the class. So definitely do not skip, guys, without a doubt. My next tip, be active. Go to clubs, make some friends, go to the gym. Colleges have infinite ways to be active. I know my college has all sorts of clubs. They have archery, fishing, what are some other crazy stuff they got? They got weightlifting club. Even for video games, they usually have a video game kind of club, not esports, but literally a club where people just show up every week to play video games. So that's something you can get involved with. Or even if you just show up to the clubs, sometimes you'll just make friends. It's just a good place to meet people. And friends are very powerful in college, guys. You definitely want to make friends. And I know some people will have a harder time making friends than others, but just finding common interests with people is definitely a great way to make some friends. And what better way to find people with common interests than to go to clubs that you like? I'm not saying go to a club you don't like. So say you don't like fishing, don't go to a fishing club, because that wouldn't make much sense, would it? But definitely go to clubs. That's a great way to get involved on campus. And by also being active, make sure you keep your body physically active as well. College is pretty overwhelming, and you might think you want to just study all the time. Make sure you get outside. Enjoy the sun, go for a walk, all this good stuff. Because sometimes you just go outside and it's just a beautiful day. So make sure you take advantage of that, because sometimes, especially where I live, the winter just keeps you inside for so long. So definitely make sure you're going out and getting your exercise. That is a very big, it keeps you feeling good. Tip number 3, hygiene. Oh my God, what a huge thing. There is so many reasons to keep yourself clean. One, biggest reason, nobody likes the smelly kid. Nobody wants to be friends with the guy that smells really bad. So make it a priority to bathe once a day, if not twice a day. I take 2 showers a day, guys. 2 showers. Because I like to be clean. So definitely make sure you're keeping clean. That is such a huge thing. Another reason to keep clean, you feel good about yourself. And if you feel good, that is just a huge boost. Just a huge boost. How many times do you wake up and you just don't feel good, but you take a shower and you just feel better because you're clean, you're ready to go. So make sure you make it a point in your day. No matter how busy you are, make sure you schedule that freaking 20 minutes just to kind of keep up with yourself. Good hygiene is great to have. Brush your teeth, comb your hair, wash your hair, take a shower, take a bath, it doesn't matter how you bathe. Just make sure you keep yourself clean. That would be huge. Just for your psyche alone. Definitely a good thing to do. So good practices. keep yourself clean. And plus, again, nobody wants to be friends with a stinky kid. You don't want to be that guy in lecture that just smells so bad and ruins it for everybody. Just make sure you're staying clean. Tip number 4, another big one, guys. This is another huge one for college. Time management. That is a huge piece of tip for college here. So there's only 24 hours in the day. So make sure you're using it wisely, guys. Make sure you're using it wisely. You got to prioritize. You got to know, all right, I really want to play Call of Duty today, for example, but I know I have a homework assignment due at midnight. So make sure you get the homework assignment done. You got to know what needs to be done, right? But also that doesn't mean to say like just because you have so many assignments, you need to make sure you also make time for yourself. Like always schedule, like I always schedule time for myself. Like I always leave myself an hour a day to do what I want to do. No matter how much homework I have, I make sure I give myself that little bit of time to do what I want. Another part of time management, make sure you know your due dates, guys. Like always know when your homework's due. Always know when you're going to have exams or a paper's due. All that good stuff. It's really easy to lose track of when things are due. So I highly suggest keeping like a little planner to yourself and writing down when things are due. Because like that's a huge load off when you know what assignments are due. And it also helps you determine what assignments you should do first. Because if you only have X amount of time and you have an assignment due in a week versus an assignment due that night, you'll already know like what assignments you should be working on. So that'll alleviate a lot of stress, I think. So that's a good tip to definitely keep your due dates in check. Have them written down somewhere, easy for you to get to. All right. Also, guys, a huge. Make sure you give yourself time to sleep. Sleep is massively important. Like you are not going to do well. If you do not make time for yourself to sleep, you are in trouble. You are literally in trouble. Now, sometimes it's going to happen. Sometimes you have to do that all-nighter. Like, that's unavoidable. Some nights you just have to. But you don't have to do them every night. Make sure you get at least 8 hours, at least 6. Definitely get at least 6. Try to go for the 8 hours. It will really do a lot for you. I promise you, if you go to bed, so like say you have an assignment due, you will be much more productive if you go to bed early and do it in the morning versus staying up all night trying to do it. So that's what I personally do. I value my sleep more than anything. So definitely make sure you get the right amount of sleep because that will help you an immense amount. Tip number 5, guys, proper diet. Keep a good, healthy diet. I know it's super tempting, especially your freshman year when you go to the mess hall, food buffet, whatever your college does. It's super tempting to go with the pizza and chicken fingers because they taste so good. But you will be bogged down. You won't feel good. Guys, take it from me on this one. I know the pizza and chicken fingers are tempting. But eat the good diet. Go for the salad. Go for the chicken breast. I promise you will feel so much better about yourself. It's good brain food, guys. Good brain food. And you won't feel so bogged down from the grease. Now, it doesn't say, like, don't forget to, like, treat yourself and stuff. But definitely do not make it your regular diet just to eat the pizza and chicken fingers. You will not be happy with yourself. All right, guys. Now we got tip number 6. Be organized. Keep your stuff organized. Have a place for everything. You definitely do not want to be stressing out the day of, like, the morning of before you go to class that you can't find something. You can't find your binder. You can't find your keys. You can't find your access card if you have those at your school. Keep your stuff organized. That is massively important. It keep like everything, like for me personally, everything has a place. Like, I mean, you don't have to go OCD with it, but like just know, like, I keep my school stuff over here. I put my keys down over here. I just got destroyed. Feels bad, man, but that's okay. I have a place for everything, guys. Know where everything is always going to be, and then if you lose something, at least you have a starting point of where you might find it. Also, keep a clean room, guys. Keep a clean room, especially if you share a room. You don't want to be that roommate that has the dirty half of the room. Do your laundry. Keep a clean desk. A clean desk is really good for the mind. You know, it helps you stay productive. So that's another big thing. Definitely stay clean. Stay organized. Stay clean. It does a lot for me. Like personally, I like to have a nice clean desk. I don't like to have clutter everywhere. I know, like, sometimes I'll throw all my receipts down on my desk, and I really need to make it a priority to clean it off because I really like a nice clean desk space. I feel much more productive when I have a clean desk. Guys, tip number 7. Now, this one's pretty good. This one's a pretty good one. Go to your professor's office hours. Almost every I would be extremely surprised to hear a professor doesn't have office hours. So make sure you use them. I promise you guys, not many students utilize the professor's office hours, and that is such a big opportunity. It's such a big place to build a relationship with your professor. Now, if it's like kind of different if you have like a lecture hall of 200 kids, but that's kind of different. That's slightly different. But I still assure you, not many people go to the office hours. So that would be huge. That is a great way to start building a relationship with your professor. So I highly recommend going to office hours. And building that relationship with a professor is so helpful. Eventually, when you graduate, you're going to want letters of recommendation and you're going to want them from your professors. So if your professor knows who you are, they're definitely more likely to write you a nice letter of recommendation. So I highly recommend getting to know your professors, and then office hours are a great way to do it. So make sure you go ahead and go see them. Like, have a nice question prepared for them. Like, I mean, don't go to just say hi and waste their time. You don't want to do that. Like, have something that you don't quite understand, and go in there and ask them about it, because they will definitely. It is so much easier for a professor to explain something to you one-on-one than it is for them to explain to 200 kids at the same time, because they can like see what you're doing wrong and then correct it, versus like trying to just get like the general concept out to 200 kids. So I guarantee you, if there's something you're having a trouble with, like say you can't get this math problem or whatever. I don't take math, so I don't quite know what that's like. But say you can't quite figure out this process, go to office hours. And I am positive the professor will be able to explain it to you much better than you was able to in lecture. So go ahead and use the office hours, guys. That is a huge resource. And it's just great for building a relationship with a professor. Like I said, you're going to want those letters of recommendation. You're going to want, or sometimes even if you need like an extension on a deadline, if they know who you are, they're more likely to cut you a break. And that's just like, that's just frankly how it is. So definitely get to know your professors. Go to their office hours. This is another good one, guys. Budgeting. Budget your money. Now, this is a little different for everybody, right? Not everybody's financial situation is the same. Whether your parents are paying for your school, you're working 40 hours to support yourself through school. Either way, you're going to want to budget the money that you have available to you. Like, even if it's just like your school money, right? Like, because my school has like a thing where we are allowed, not allowed, how do I explain this? We have like food debit, right? So we have to spend money, like at the beginning of the semester where we put money aside specifically for food. So I don't want to go ahead and blow all my food money in the first week of school when I have 15 weeks left, right? So I got to budget that out. And that's like, budgeting is huge, because then it helps alleviate some of that stress on money. And that's just not stress that you want. It's not stress that you need. Now, I understand if you're working 40 hours a week to put yourself through school, it's a little different. But even so, budgeting is a massive tool to help you succeed. So I would highly recommend sitting down and budgeting it out for yourself. Like, you don't want to, if like you're already struggling to pay food for yourself, don't go out and buy that game that you want. It's not worth it. Just make sure you kind of keep to yourself and know what you can afford. All right, guys, this next one is crucial. This will make or break your college experience, guys. You got to find that balance between work and fun. Now, you're going to college to get good grades. Like, that is the goal. Like, that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to create a better you so you can go out and get a job in the future, right? That's why you go to college. Anyway, you got to find that balance, because you can't do college 100 hours. Like, you can't do it like 100%, right? You can't spend all your time studying and all that stuff. You got to make time for yourself. You got to have fun while you're doing it. So that's why I work really hard during the week. I very rarely do anything non-school related during the week. And I do that so that way I am able to enjoy the weekends. Like, I leave the weekends pretty open for myself. Like, I don't leave 20 assignments to do during the weekend. Or another way you could do it is you don't do much assignments during the week and you kind of enjoy the week, and then you spend the weekend doing the assignments. But you have to make sure one does not overtake the other, because you go to college to do the work, right? That's like the whole reason to go. So make sure you find the balance, like enjoy your time here, go out with your friends, but make sure you get your work done. Like, that's huge. But there is a balance, guys. I promise you there's a balance. And if you feel overwhelmed, maybe just take a day off and go do something fun. Like, go to the mall, go see a movie. Just do something to get away from it, because I assure you that little relief and stress will be huge for you and will help you feel feel better, just feel so much better. Tip number 10, the last tip I'm going to have for you guys, is to work your hardest and strive for the best grades, right? I mean, you think that's pretty obvious, but you don't, like, I can't even tell you how many times there are people I see that are like, you know what, I'm just going to go for the C, the C is fine. Don't settle, guys. You definitely want to shoot for the A, without a doubt. Go for the best. Like, you're there to get the good grades. Don't settle. Now, sometimes, it is what it is, but I always try my hardest, guys. Even if it doesn't look good, always try your hardest. And professors see that. Professors will be like, you know what, he's trying really hard. So, like, they might cut you a break. Especially at the end of the year, a lot of professors can round you up. If you need that extra little bit to get the next letter grade, if they saw that you worked really hard, went to their office hours, you made a good relationship with them, then they'll probably round you up. They're definitely much more likely to round you up than if you didn't know them, or if you, like, slacked off half the year. So definitely working hard, guys. There's always something to get from working hard. It also just, like, It's good. It's good work ethic to just work hard, right? Never give up. Never give up. If that's the easy, that's too easy to give up. If life was easy, then it wouldn't be worth it. That's why the people that work the hardest get somewhere, guys. You don't get, like, life isn't given to you, so definitely work hard. It's like a lot. Like, I'll tell you example for me. When I was in high school, I didn't have to work hard for grades. Like, grades just came. Like, I got 90s and hundreds on every test. I didn't have to study. It was just easy. I got to college and I got 60s on my first exams because I walked in and thought I knew what I was doing. You have to work hard. You do. You really do. You have to put the time in. Like, I mean, some classes are easier than others, and you can figure that out for yourself. But I will tell you, it is not high school. You have to work for your grades. You won't. It won't just come as easy as high school. Like the biggest mistake I made was walking into a test. Like, I remember the night before, I'm like, oh, I have an exam, but it's okay. Like, you know, it was pretty easy stuff. I think it was an evolutions class. I think I was taking evolution biology. And I'm like, oh, evolution is so easy. I don't even need to study for this exam. And I come out of that exam and I'm like, oh my God, I am in so much trouble. I got a 60 something on that exam because I didn't study, because I was arrogant. I thought grades were easy. Guys, seriously, don't make that mistake. Don't make that mistake. Grades are, you have to work for them. You definitely have to work for them in college. Now, like I said, some classes are easier than others, but it's still not a give me. Just make sure you know what you're doing. Make sure you study. Take that little bit of time to go over the material, especially even if you're confident that you know what's going on. Definitely just take that extra little bit of time just to kind of go over what you already know, because little bit of studying will not hurt you. So make sure you do that, but don't overstudy either. Don't overstudy. Make sure you go back to our earlier tip. Find the balance between work and fun, and your time at college will be much better. I think if you take all these tips for what they are, I think you'll find the benefits to them, guys. I really do. These are personally, I sat down and thought about this video for a long time and thought about what do I personally do to make my experience better. Because I mean, I've had a lot of fun in college. I mean, there have been hard times and there have been times where I wanted to kind of leave, but you're going to have them. It's overwhelming, guys. Consider that a pseudo number 11 tips. Be prepared to be overwhelmed. College is an overwhelming experience. There's people to deal with. Some professors are hard to deal with. People are hard to deal with. Life is hard to deal with, guys. But just be prepared. Just be prepared to be overwhelmed and know who to talk to. I'm sure your colleges make it a very big point to have resources available to people that are feeling overwhelmed. So if you really are feeling overwhelmed, make sure you know where to go to find some help, guys. And never get too upset over. Remember, they're just grades. You can always. College isn't the one answer. If college isn't for you, that's fine. But at least try, guys. Just because you're being overwhelmed for a moment does not mean you're going to be overwhelmed all the time. So just know where to go. There's always somebody to help. And never, I don't even want to say it, guys, but like, you know what I'm saying. Like, don't ever consider ending anything just because of school. There are things past school. If you can't do school, that's fine. School's not for everybody, so everybody has their own path. And make sure you just find your own. Sometimes people just don't. College wasn't for some people, and that's fine. That's so fine. There's so much you can do without college. So make sure you find your path, guys. Oh, top 3, baby. Like I said, guys, find your path. And I think that's where we're going to cut the video out. Thank you guys so much for enjoying. If you guys found any of this useful, like, comment, subscribe. It really helps me out a lot. And thank you guys so much for watching. And guys, literally, if you need somebody to talk to, I'm here. I'll listen to you guys. I always do. I hope you guys have a great day, and thanks for watching. Peace.